First off, I want to thank you guys for checking out my last video on Zach and his run at Tunnel Hill 50. And it was pretty funny because right as I was posting that video, there was some news that Taggart, VanEtten, just finished the Tunnel Hill 100-miler in 12 hours, 19 minutes. That is just 11 minutes off of Zach Bitter's course record out there and one of the fastest debut ultramarathons that I've ever heard of. And funny enough, that is my son's name. I've never heard of anyone else with that same name, so kind of cool. But I actually had a chance to speak with Taggart. I'm gonna include some of that conversation in this video, give you guys a little insight into who he is. I unfortunately wasn't able to talk with Zach, but I did get some great information in the comments from you guys. But I'm super excited to share a little bit of an interview with him. He is brand new to the ultra scene. Literally, this is his first ultra marathon. He went straight to the 100-mile distance and crushed this thing. So first off, he came from a triathlon background and he did run collegiately for a couple years, off and on. Last year, he jumped into a marathon. And this was, I think, maybe after his triathlon days or maybe in the midst of it. And he ran a 2:37 off of apparently 22 miles per week. So this guy's got some talent. I guess he decided to throw his name in the hat. I think he was maybe planning to do some road marathon stuff, and he decided to step up, try something different, and throw his name in the hat for Tunnel Hill. He said he put in about 16 weeks of training in the lead up to Tunnel Hill, was averaging 170 miles per week with some weeks peaking out over 200 miles per week. So let's throw in some of these clips and get to know Taggart a little bit more.
It was the perfect day. I mean, it was an awesome day to run fast. So I couldn't. It was perfect weather and everything. So, well, my name's Taggart VanEtten. My background is primarily triathlon. I didn't really run much in college. Like I said, I ran for 2 different junior colleges, and my collegiate running career was an absolute mess. And I just kind of found new life in triathlon when I was about 19 years old. Had plans to compete professionally in like the half Ironman and Ironman distance. Then last November, I ran the Indy Monumental Marathon and 2:37, and I was only running 22 miles a week. So I made a decision that in 2020, I would change focus to the marathon. And of course, because of COVID, I couldn't run a marathon. And finally in July, I got enough balls to sign up for Tunnel Hill. And I was like, well, at least you'll get to do something. And for the next 16, 18 weeks, I just kept building miles and building miles. There were some weeks I ran over 200. It was primarily like a cycle of 3 weeks on, 1 week off. And my average up until the taper week was right at 170 miles. So Tunnel Hill was my first ultra marathon. It was my first race over 26.2 miles. A half Ironman, they go over 4 hours. So like I had a nice background as far as like nutrition and carbohydrates and salt and like electrolytes. So my triathlon background really helped me there. But yeah, Tunnel Hill was my first ultra. My longest training run leading into it was 60 miles. But 2 weeks before it, I ran 50 miles in 6 hours. And I followed up the next day with a 3-hour marathon. So that proved to me I was in shape. And then before that, on Labor Day weekend, I ran a double marathon and like 5:53. That was completely self-supported around town here. And I just had a route plan, but I knew I was in shape, and I went out at Zach Bitter's American record pace and had planned to hold on, but my GPS watch actually like lost signal 8 miles into it. So like it told me I was either running 9-minute pace or 2-minute mile pace. So I had to base the next 11 hours off of feel. The only thing I could see was like the time on my watch, and it was crazy. But I don't know, who knows what could have happened if I would have been able to like know where I was at the whole time. I mean, I had a great crew that was like, Taggart, you're here, you're at this mile mark, you're at this time, you're running this pace. But when you're out there for 30, 40 minutes on your own, when you don't have crew support, it's just it's really tough to gauge for something that long. But I was just grateful to run fast and come away with a 12:19 debut. So now I'm just enjoying off season, getting fat and playing some video games and doing all that stuff. So
yeah, how are you feeling post race?
So I couldn't like walk or move after the race. I couldn't stand up on my own the next day. I couldn't walk on my own the next day. I had to like literally use a cane and a walker. I'm feeling better now. I was doing some light movement around my house. I took the day off work today, which was nice. And I've just been doing little things that's helped the blood flow, but I still can't really do steps yet. So I imagine I'll be back to a normal human being by Wednesday or Thursday, but I don't plan on running for like 3 weeks. So
do you primarily train roads for this race, or are you a trail runner at all? Or are you just road runner?
So I would say 99% of my miles are on concrete. I live in what I call the concrete paradise of Morton, Illinois. And that's why I wear the Bondis all the time, because they save my legs and I don't feel like going to a track and running 10 miles around there. I've got a really nice single base track that's called Farmdale Reservoir. That's like 4 miles from my apartment. But like by the time I get done with school, get done with practice, I really don't want to spend that extra 10 minutes driving to the trail. And then, you know, at the trail, I can only run like 9-minute pace because it's so snake-like. And like, I would love to have that extra time, but I just don't have it. So I just come home and get even more beat up on the roads again. And
nice. What are your future goals in the sport?
I'm coming back to Tunnel Hill next year and breaking 12 hours. I got through the finish line, and that is the goal. That is the plan. That was what all of 2021, because I ran through 50 miles in 5:49, not knowing that I was through 50 miles in 5:49 until I crossed there. So if I pace that to like a 5:59 and come back with another 6-hour split, yeah, I'm going sub 12 there next year. And I want everyone to come out and race me, anyone to come out and race me.
That was super cool to catch up with him and hear a little bit about his backstory. He is already talking about next year returning to Tunnel Hill and going for a sub 12 hours. I think it would be really interesting to see him get on the trails. I'm really curious to see how he would do. He's clearly right now a road runner, and that's what he has to work with, being in Illinois. He's out there pounding the concrete, pounding the roads. And maybe we'll have to get him out to Black Canyon. Be kind of cool to see what he can do. It's an exciting time in the sport. There are a lot of new names popping up. Zach, Taggart, some of these guys from the Midwest are making a splash on the scene this year, and super exciting to see. As there's more opportunities, I think, in ultramarathon running, I think we're gonna see more of this. I think we're gonna see more guys taking the leap up from having that strong collegiate background. They're already running pretty high mileage and running smart. Oh, one more thing that I just got a text from Tim Tollefson, this little insight here. He said, this actually has to do with Zach. So I'm kind of weaving a couple of these videos together, but Zach, and I think I misspelled his name. I apologize for that. It's Z-A-C-K. And Bevan, I believe, is someone in the comments said his last name is Bevan, not Bevan. So he connected with Tim a couple years ago asking about jumping into ultras versus developing in the marathon. And here's what Tim Tollefson said. He recommends spending a few years focusing on learning to grind in the marathons on the roads. And that was a big reason that Zach did that. So he, of course, came from that marathoning background. He's got a 2:18 marathoner. He was in the Olympic trials. That's probably something we're gonna see from Taggart as well. He said he wants to target the 2024 Olympic trials qualifier as well. And he's saying in retrospect, it was 100% the right move. And he just is now passing that information on. So we're starting to see a little bit of a pattern here that these young guys are being encouraged by some of the elite in our sport to stick with the roads for a bit longer before stepping up in distance. We'll see how that pans out. Seems to be doing just fine for Tim Tollefson. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for checking this out. Please let me know what topic you want me to cover in the next video in the comments below. I want to do more of these videos, give you guys more content and deep dive into the sport. And go give Taggart a follow. Let me throw his Instagram out to you guys right now. Taggart _ VanEtten, and he currently just has 628 followers. Let's show him some love from the Steep Squad. Let's show him some love. Let's get him up to 1,000 followers at least. And let's get this guy sponsored and some support so he can make a splash and get that sub 12 at Tunnel Hill next year. Anyways, thank you guys. Be sure to subscribe for more videos. See you in the next one. Bye.